Okay, so we've been talking all weekend about all these different ways to propagate plants, and since we're interested in doing perennial plant propagation, it stands to reason that we want to be able to record what we're doing and have it actually last for a while. So when you've got that hardwood cutting of some variety of currant and you want to know what it is 10 years from now and propagate it, you can do that. And I made this little sheet for people. You can take a picture of it or jot down notes. It's kind of what I would call the continuum of permanence for labeling things. And what's really easy to access, a lot of times these are free or 10 cents, a carpenter's pencil on what Cornelius was mentioning was taking old blinds, which you can get from the dump or a reuse center. You can cut those blinds, write on them. That's pretty decent. This is the Listo wax pen. So for those of you that are interested in that, I think it has its pros and cons. It's not expensive, but it only has about an inch or two of wax, and you really have to push hard for it to work. Cornelius mentioned this, the Umark A10. I don't have any personal experience with it, but if he likes it, I'm guessing it's pretty legit. A.M. Leonard nursery pen, so it's amleo.com, $3 or so. But my problem with these is a lot of times they dry out. So I have a bunch that are duds. I got to figure out how to get them alive again. This is what I'm interested in showing you, which is making aluminum tags from soda or beer cans or any sort of can. These exist all over the place. We generate them ourselves or whatever, and really simple. And these tags put onto either black locust or larch or white oak or some sort of really long-lasting wood, and twist tied on with 17 or 14 gauge fencing wire. I've had last a minimum of 8 years with no wear and tear at all, and I would suspect they'd last up to 30, 40 years. So this is just off-cut lumber from a local mill. I sharpen these, I cut them to 2 or 3 or 4 feet with a chop saw, use a hatchet to sharpen them, drill a little hole in the top, and stockpile them for when I need to label things. And you take a piece of cardboard and slip it under that tag, and now any ballpoint pen, one that doesn't write anymore, works perfectly, will emboss this, and there's no way it's fading. So the way you do it, and I'm really open to hearing, maybe folks see this and say, wait a minute, what if you do it this way? That would be awesome. But I just take scissors, ideally not like your really nice fabric scissors, but I come across the top of a can, then I come down the can. I'm not worried about the first cut being kind of rough. Then I come across again. I drop it, then you pick it up. That part's pretty important. Then you go across the bottom. Then I clean up that top cut, just because I don't want it to be... Once it's hammered in the ground and it's there, the likelihood of getting cut by it is pretty minimal, but I like to... So here's where you can say, well, actually I want a big tag, you know, decide what size you want, but I find on average I can get 5 tags out of one can. And I like to just go around the edge and round it off, because otherwise that's a good way to get yourself cut when you're out working. And then I take a nail and a hammer and a block of wood, soft wood ideally. Put that in the middle. One tap will do it, maybe 2. We'll do this on the floor so we don't beat up the table. But you can make 10 of these and then stack them and hammer through all 10 with 1 or 2 hammers. And now you have a unit. You can make, this is a great winter activity. We got all these cans. So we're going to do this as a group. We're going to rip through these. We'll recycle the leftovers, but there won't be much. And we'll try to do it on paper so it's easy to clean up. And then once you have piles of these, all of us will take a few home. We'll leave a whole bunch here. You can process the wooden staves. You could also say, well, around each tree I've got 2x4 welded wire. Well, you hang that and put your wire through and tie it to your cage. And as long as the cage is there, you know what's going on. What I would never do is take this and with wire tie it to your plant. Don't do that. The plant gets bigger, hopefully, right? And it'll only hurt it or kill it to have the metal. It always gets in there, always causes problems. So long-lived piece of hardwood, either dimensional, or in this case, I took locust firewood and just kept splitting and splitting and splitting. You can see this is all just split, right, and sharpened with a hatchet. I had a friend make me 200 of these out of locust. He has a small carpentry shop, and I traded 200 of these for a gallon of dried shiitakes. So I have these, which I can write on or use. But anyway, this I think is just incredibly useful, low cost, and will last maybe a whole lifetime. So that's the little spiel on that. And I think you don't have to record anymore.